Russell Henderson and Aaron McKinney have pled not guilty to the charges of kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and attempted murder in the first degree.
Russell was just so sweet. He's the one that was the Eagle Scout. His whole presence was just quiet and sweet. You know, he was raised a Mormon, and he was real active in that when he was younger. He was an elder in the church. So, of course, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I know people snap and whatever, and like I said, it wasn't a real intimate relationship. I was just his landlord. I remember, like, at the Christmas party, he was just totally drunk out of his mind. You know, like we all were. But he wasn't belligerent. He didn't change. His personality didn't change. He was still the same little meek Russell.
Aaron was a good kid. That's why I was shocked when I heard this. See, he had been living out with his girl. They just started dating last summer. And they must have gotten pregnant as soon as they started dating, though, because you know they had a kid. 21 years old, but he's running around with a kid.
When I first heard about it, I thought it was really, really awful. I don't know whether Aaron was fucked up or was coming down or what, but Matthew had money. Shit, he had better clothes than I did. Matthew was a little rich bitch.
You shouldn't call him a rich bitch, though. That's not right.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy either. I'm just saying he's at the wrong place, the wrong time, he said the wrong things.
Aaron was always dressing up big, you know, big clothes, Tommy Hilfiger, you know, Polo, Gucci, I don't know.
I mean, it probably pissed him off that Matthew was gay, because he didn't like... I mean, the gay people that I've seen him interact with or that I've heard him talk about, he was fine with, as long as, you know, they didn't hit on him. Or as long as, you know, it didn't come up.
When I knew Aaron was just a young kid, you know, he's trying to fit in, he's acting tough, acting cool, but you know what? You can get in his face about it, he'd back down like he's some kind of scared kid.
If I saw Aaron right now, I'd just be like, why'd you fuck up like that?
I want to shake him, you know? What were you thinking? What in the hell were you thinking?
Thank you. Hello? This is her. Oh, hi, doctor. How is he? Yes? I see. Can you hang on for a moment? Mom, can you hang this up? I'm going to take it in there. I'm here. Yes?
The part I wasn't telling you about before is that Reggie Flutie is my daughter. When she told me she wanted to be a police officer, I thought there was not a better choice for her. She could handle whatever came her way. And then this happens.
That was the hospital. Matthew Shepard is HIV positive, and they said I've been exposed.
What?
They said I've been exposed to the AIDS virus. You know, because I've been building the lean-tos for the llamas. And I have a bunch of open cuts on my hands, and I got his blood on my hands.
How did you get it on your hands?
We have shit gloves, you know, and I kept putting them on, and, you know, you keep putting them on, and they keep breaking, so finally I ran out.
So you touched him without gloves?
You cannot let a human being just sit there.
Reggie!
Don't hesitate. That's what goes through your mind. Don't hesitate all the time. So you just keep on moving, and you take care of Matthew, and you try to find an open airway, and that's what you do, you know? That's what you do.
Quite frankly, I wanted to lash out at somebody. Not Matthew. Please understand that not one of us was mad at Matthew. We maybe wanted to squeeze McKinney's head off. And I think about Henderson. You know, two absolutely human beings cause so much grief for so many people.
They want to start me on these ATC drugs immediately. And if you start them within 36 hours, maybe that can stop you from getting the disease.
This has been just terrible for my whole family, but mostly for her and her kids. Those drugs, the AZT drugs, she throws up every day. She cries so much she's afraid to touch her kids. I just hope she doesn't go before me.
No matter how you dice it, I did have the opportunity. If I had had amazing 20/20 hindsight, I had the opportunity to stop what occurred that night. I could have stopped it. I should have known these guys should not have been talking to that guy. I should have not had my head down while I was washing dishes for those 20 seconds. You know, all those little things I could have done, and I could have stopped this. So what the hell was I thinking?
I keep seeing that picture in my head of when I found him, and it is not pleasant whatsoever. I want to like get it out. I don't want it in there. You know, that's a big part of it for me, is having to see that picture in my head. I don't want it in there. Matthew Shepard's the first gay person I ever saw. And it's kind of unbelievable to me that I happen to be the person that found him. Because, like, the big question with my religion is, why did God want me to find him? In the darkness, before the dawn, no more sorrow. In the nighttime, let it shine. Oh Lord, let it shine.
Candlelight vigils were held around the country last night. There are expressions
cities around the country: Denver, Fort Los Angeles, Detroit, Chicago, Washington, 5,000, Atlanta, Nashville, Minneapolis, the country, and around the world, all expressing hopes for Matthew's full recovery.
I can't stop crying. This is what I was trying to stop.
We must do more to deal with violent bigotry, hate crimes.
I hope that in the grief of this moment and in the shared outrage across America, Americans will once again search their hearts and do what they can to reduce their own fear and anxiety and anger at people who are different. And I hope that Congress will pass the hate crimes legislation.
I think the gay community is taking this as an advantage. Said, this is a good time for us to exploit this.
They made it sound like it was 10 murders instead of 1.
They're accusing the ranchers of being unreasonable and unsympathetic because of how he was and
what his persuasions were. Well, he would certainly be welcome in our home. We'd visit, sit down, have a cup of coffee.
Well, what did you think when you heard that 2 boys from your town did this?
Well, I certainly don't approve of homosexuals, but I don't think anybody has a right to do what those 2 boys did.
Well, where do you think that comes from, their hatred towards homosexuals?
I think what most people fear in the gay community is that sexuality is their #1 concern.
Not many people condone it.
When you wear it on your sleeve like a banner.
Well, there's this whole idea, you leave me alone, I leave you alone. It's even in some of the Western literature, you know, live and let live. That is such crap. Basically, what it boils down to, if I don't tell you I'm a fag, you won't beat the crap out of me. What's so great about that? That's a great philosophy?
I'll sit in church, and the Reverend will tell you flat out he does not agree with homosexuality, right? And I just don't feel like I know enough about certain things just to be able to say that homosexuality is right, you know? When I've been raised my whole life that homosexuality is not right, it's wrong.
My parents brought me up Catholic. I was brought up to love the sinner, hate the sin. Love the person for who they are, but condemn them for what they do. Condemn the lifestyle.
So I would have to say right now that I don't agree with it. I don't agree. And maybe that's just because I couldn't do it. But I don't hate homosexuals, you know, and I'm not going to persecute them. I'm not going to let this get in between me and the other person at all, you know, or in between you and I. You know, not at all.
Well, it's preached in schools that being gay is okay. If my kids asked me, I'd set them down and I'd tell them, this is what gay people do. This is what animals do, okay? And I tell them, this is the life. This is the lifestyle. This is what they do. And I say, this is why I believe it's wrong.